Welcome back and thanks for staying with us. We're starting off front page review today with The Nation, major headline. Of course, it's Tantita's advert, but we have two key stories here. 2027, Southwest governors, leaders rally behind Tinubu. Ministers give scorecard at confab. And we have 55 persons removed from presidential pardon list. Only 120 enjoy prerogative of mercy. So that's, we'll be discussing it later today, but who has the story?
Okay, so I have an inside story. Okay. I don't have the terms. I have the court orders final forfeiture of $49,700 that was recovered from the house of a returning electoral commissioner. So this resident electoral commissioner from Sokoto is the returning resident electoral commissioner for Sokoto State, Dr. Nura Ali. He had been in court, and there was a temporary forfeiture order, an interim forfeiture order earlier granted, after which the ICPC had published that if anybody that have reason to show this particular money recovered from his residence should come forward and defend, but nobody appeared, nobody responded to the publication, nobody was in court. So the representative of the ICPC, Osobeni Akponisinga, he moved the motion that there should be final forfeiture, which the court granted, and so now the money is finally forfeited. I'm wondering what that amount of dollars was doing in the residence of a resident electoral commissioner in the first place.
Okay, so I have the story of the 55 persons removed from the presidential pardon list. Okay. They said 55 of the 175 convicts granted this thing on the October 12 have been dropped from a reviewed list approved by the president. They said the excluded person comprised individual convicted of grievous crimes. Meanwhile, the special advisor on information and strategy, that's to the president, that's Mr. Bayo Onanduga, said this via a statement. He said that the president signed the instruments of clemency and pardon, thereby formally exercising his constitutional power of prerogative. But he later explained that the new list with 120 names was arrived at after consultations with the Council of State and extensive public input. They said that the earlier list of 175 had generated public criticism because it included individuals convicted for serious crimes such as kidnapping, drug and human trafficking, fraud, as well as illegal firearms possession. He later on said that, that the beneficiaries in the new list are grouped into 4. 15 of them were granted full pardon, that is including pre-independence nationalist Herbert Macaulay, former House of Rep member Farouk Lawan and Ogoni. Then 4 had their death sentences commuted to life imprisonment. 15 were granted clemency and 86 had their prison terms reduced. So they said the presidential spokesman said the president's decision was guided by the seriousness and security implications of some offenses. The need to respect the feelings of victims, to sustain public trust and uphold Nigerians' bilateral obligations is very, very important. So he's just saying that they grouped them into stages and then they are now, yes. So, but we'll be discussing more about it later on.
I took a story inside and it's just the Onitsha traditional monarch has not endorsed any candidate. The Obi Council of Onitsha has declared that the ancient kingdom will not endorse or support any candidate. Their own is to be neutral. They issued this in a statement, and it was issued by Chief Osita Aningongu, the Ike Akatakwani Onitsha. I wish Obiajulo Amaka were here.
Amaka's people.
Yes, so that the city remains politically neutral as a community and they are not drawn into any partisan alignments. It says that the individuals or chiefs or title holders can actually
decide who they are supporting.
But they do that in their individual capacity, okay, not as a
community.
They can do it individually, not
to speak for the entire.
Okay. For to speak for the community or say no. They are totally non-partisan they can do what they like as private citizens.
I think it is good for traditional rulers to be non-partisan, so that
It's expected, not
It's
just good.
It's expected,
That's
yes.
the standard.
So they can be
Unbiased,
fair.
no
Yeah.
consign.
Let's move on to
No,
the
that's
Punch.
they remain communal peace, and that's what they are.
Yeah.
They are serving for communal peace and cohesion.
Awesome. All right, let's move on to the Punch. Major headline. Coup controversy. Military tracks 45 billion naira in NDDC. Detained soldiers linked in NDDC top shots probe as Silva out of the country denies linked with alleged coup. Tinubu revokes pardon for Sandra, 140 high-profile inmates. We took that story already. Senate screening CDS eyes foreign partnership to crush insurgency. So what story are we taking
Major
first?
headline.
Of course, the coup.
Even though they say that there's been no coup, because even the federal government denied coup plots against Tinubu's administration, the defense headquarters described the coup attempt as report as false and misleading and malicious, and that even the Sahara reported 16 military officers in custody for the same coup. They said it's a lie, that it's not for coup, that they have been, tried for professional misconduct. But then they have
Other things are
traced.
coming out.
Yes, they have traced on Tuesday also. There was some report that some military personnel raided the Abuja residence of ex-governor of Bayelsa State, Timipre Silva, and he's also the former Minister of State for Petroleum, and has some links with the NDDC. But this report says that the military tracks 45 billion naira disbursed from the NDDC account. NDDC, that's the Niger Delta Development Commission, to some politically exposed persons and soldiers detained in connection with the rumored conspiracy to topple President Tinubu's administration. That's what is happening here. And yet they deny all the other leads to the story.
This story, I don't. There's this school of thought that say the government should come clean and tell us
What's going on.
There's no school of thought that says, look, we are trying to get investors. By the time you start admitting that, oh yes, there was a coup, investors will run a coup attempt. Sorry, people will start to run away. Investors will start to run away. So I don't know where I stand on this, and.
Also, when the Defense Intelligence Agency grills people related to this, can you just not
don't publicize it to the press?
Yes.
Okay, fantastic.
That's
That's
daily
if you want to be silent, be silent.
Silence completely.
If you want to bring it out, bring it out
Let's
completely.
find out after
not a little
investigation.
in, a little out.
Yeah.
Because
We'll
we are
take a break.
going to be speculating and speculating for the next 1 month.
We'll take a break and we'll return. We'll continue with front page review. Stay with us. We'll be right. Welcome back and thanks for staying with us. We'll be continuing the front page review with the Punch. So we already have the major headline. We are going inside the papers. What stories do we have in the papers?
Okay, so I have a story where they said the federal government releases 2.3 billion to clear lecturers' salary promotion arrears. They said the federal government on Wednesday announced the release of the sum of 2.3 billion to clear salary and promotion arrears owed to lecturers across Nigerian universities. They said the move is part of the government's effort to avert the looming strike by the Academic Staff Union of Universities. They've been saying they want to go on strike. So they said the Minister of Education, that's Mr. Dr. Tunji Alausa, agreed with the release of the funds while giving updates on ongoing engagements with the ASU and other tertiary institution unions. He also said that the disbursement reflects the President's commitment to resolving long-standing welfare issues in the tertiary education sector in a transparent and sustainable manner. And he also added that the federal government, through the Ministry of Finance and OAGF, is finalizing the release of third-party non-statutory deductions and pension remittances, which are expected to be completed in the coming days. He also announced that the government has approved the full mainstream of the earned academic allowance into university staff salaries from 2026 to ensure predictable and timely payments going forward. All he just saying here is that all funds have been released. So there shouldn't be strike. Ongoing strike shouldn't even happen. Everybody's going to get paid, and then at least most parents have their minds at rest.
All right, Anthony.
Yeah, I took the collision on the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway
The traffic
yesterday. Yeah, they said the two trucks were fighting for right of way when they collided. And one was carrying wheat and spilled all his wheat on the road. and cause serious traffic. I don't know if that's what caused traffic today, because there's traffic there unless it's another one. So someone was saying maybe it's because of the sloping of the road, the sloping nature of the road.
That place is always, there's always trailer falling every time.
Anyway, they lost control. One of the drivers got injured. He's in hospital, and most of the motorists were just there for hours and complaining.
It was a major gridlock yesterday. It affected many people that are in that axis, because I already got home before the drama started, but it was really bad. I have a story concerning, I took the story yesterday, the fact that NDLEA gave a report concerning this hotel that was the party, the drug-related party. I think it was yesterday or the day before yesterday.
Yes.
So the chairman of NDLEA, Brigadier General retired Buba Marwa, has disclosed that the agency has now filed forfeiture suit against the Lagos nightclub owned by the socialite Mike Umogu, known as Pretty Mike. So this would mean he would forfeit that property. The agency had raided the drug night, the nightclub. It was full of drugs at a Proxy Night. The club is called Proxy Night Club at 7 Akiadishola, Lagos, where operatives arrested 100 attendees, including the club owner and the manager. The NDLEA also said that it was a drug party. The agency identified that they found kilograms of drugs and all of that, and they have said that they infiltrated the club, they made pre-purchases of illicit drugs and monitored the activities for 4 hours before then storming in with operatives. So it was thoroughly investigated. They came in like clubbers and saw that drugs were being sold. They were able to recover 384 kilograms of cannabis loud, a potent strain of cannabis and other illicit substance from the club's storage. So, of course, there was a press conference, and while he was speaking, the chairman of NDLEA said that the forfeiture suit was following the raid after it was brazenly advertised as a drug party. So not only is the fact that you are doing something illegal, you are bold enough to publicize the fact that this is a drug party.
So
you know the way NDLEA operates, they will go there as
party
mufti,
as party
they are
people too.
party people. Give them data we buy, so they will be informing their people. When they now come, you can't escape, because when they raid, the ones that are already inside will not hold you. Yeah.
Hold on, wait.
Let's move on to Daily Sun. Alleged coup plots. Security agents spread dragnet fears. How DIA, NFIU, EFCC tracked uncovered ex-Governor Sylvia's transaction and other news. Tinubu bows to pressure, reviews pardon list, excludes convicts of murder and drug kidnapping, human trafficking, tightens criteria for future exercise. And then, of course, Tantita is congratulating the new service chief, and it is all over the papers. So we are now having to dig inside the stories. Today is not top stories in the papers, it's inside.
Yes, it's inside story. So I have NDLEA again, and this is they had a commendation and award ceremony where of course, the Yoga Patakpata of the NDLEA, Brigadier General Buba Marwa, retired. He presented the commendation letters and awards to 220 personnel for outstanding performance in the discharge of their duties, and 15 new officers were decorated with new ranks. And he read a very good speech. Let me just cut it in half. He said, "Your commitment to the renewed hope agenda of the administration of President Tinubu has yielded tremendous results in the past 30 months. On our two major planks of drug demands reduction and drug supply reduction, leading to about 45,853 arrests, seizure of over 8.5 million kilograms of assorted illicit drugs, and conviction of 9,263 offenders, with 26,613 drug users counseled and rehabilitated in our treatment facilities across the country." And he continued in the speech. But this captures, the impact of their work over the years. So well done to the NDLEA and to the officers.
So the Anambra State Police Command has arrested a suspected female kidnapper and recovered a snatched Toyota Highlander. She was linked to armed robbery in Ogidi, and according to the police, The operation was carried out in the early hours of October 27, 2025. So she has been arrested, and she's the accomplice of a reported case of armed robbery and kidnap incident.
Wow. It's always shocking when I hear women
are
carrying out
this kind of things.
robbery.
I know, but it still shocks me now.
It still shocks me.
Kidnapping is the IR. When we're in primary school, there were
Because it's easier to use women to carry children.
No, armed robbery.
And
lady
women were
was in
involved.
charge. Man,
Wow.
the woman. You know when they are in charge, they don't have mercy. This one, she even dressed very well. She had heels on, carried the gun like this.
Moving on to Vanguard newspaper. See, this is a joy gist. Let's
like a movie.
Let her tell us.
It was like a movie.
I don't like the idea. I will be promoting some other women to start feeling like there's opportunity there.
No. If you try, they will lock you up.
No, nothing. This story will not stop you.
They will lock you up.
Will not convince you to be a criminal. You're already a criminal.
Exactly.
Vanguard newspaper, major headline. How to fix Nigeria's security challenges from the service chiefs. Tinubu excludes convicts of kidnapping, drugs, arms offences from clemency list. Power supply. Nigeria Cement signs phase 1 power deal. 7,000 megawatts to grid. And of course, what story are we taking inside the paper since we've been looking more within?
So I have a story from my state. They said Katsina to create Ministry of Power, Renewable Energy. That's by the governor. They said the governor, Diko Umaru Rada of Katsina State, has announced plans to establish Nigeria's first Ministry of Power, Renewable Energy and Energy Security to accelerate the state's transition to clean, affordable energy. Yay.
Happy for
my state.
Katsina.
So they said the governor made this disclosure.
From Katsina?
Yes, I'm from Katsina.
So Buhari.
They said the governor made the disclosure while delivering a special address at the Nigeria Energy Leadership Summit, West Africa Leading Energy Forum, held at the Landmark Convention Center here in Lagos. He said that the new ministry will coordinate all energy-related initiatives across the state, strengthen power access in rural communities, and promote investments in solar, wind, hydro, and gas-based projects. He said this is pioneering. The ministry will consolidate our progress, strengthen coordination, and ensure that energy remains reliable, affordable, and accessible to every citizen. That's what my governor said. So we also have light in my state.
Let me give Nigerians hope.
So you don't have light there?
We have lights, but the rural areas too will start having lights.
So the Minister for Power just announced that, there's a $2.3 billion infrastructure deal with Siemens. And they've done the phase 1 of it. Contracts have been signed with Siemens Energy, CMEC, El Sewedi Electric, and Power China. And this is, of course, focusing. I read the story very well on transmission. They're looking to add 7,000 megawatts to our national grid and aid power supply. That's where the problem is. So when I was reading grid, 7,000 generated, it will not be hanging. But now they're looking at how to transmit it with this fund. So well done to the minister.
I'm no longer celebrating contract signing. I like celebrating executed projects.
No. This administration has shown us.
We just talk about the contract. We'll celebrate and applaud when the project, when we now say we generated 7,000 megawatts after the contract we signed 2 years ago, we'll not clap for them. For now, we'll take a break.
Buyer Adelabu, Tokpa is holding you there. Let us see if it's
Tokpa is right.
I agree. Totally.
But I think
that's why they do committee. Nothing comes out of committee.
We'll take a break. When we return, we have a very hot topic for you today. So stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your view will be right